Hey everyone, this is Richard, CEO of altFINS. In this trading video today, I will cover a quick market update, but also a couple of trade setups. One is a breakout from falling wedge pattern, and another one is a potential short sell opportunity as well. So let's go ahead and dive in. First of all, let's check what the market is trending. I think most of you, if you're paying attention to the market, are aware of the fact that we've been in a downtrend, quite severe downtrend, I'd say, since peaking in late December. As you can see, Bitcoin is in a downtrend on a medium and a long-term basis. It's trading below the 52-week high. It's trading below the 200-day moving average. But we are seeing some positive sort of near-term momentum in the market. As you can see on the short-term basis, some of the assets like Bitcoin, Solana, Tron are already in an uptrend. In fact, Tron is in an uptrend across the board, but there's some improvements, and we'll cover that as well. But if we look at the performance, clearly, year-to-date performance has been atrocious. Let me get rid of this. Year-to-date, Bitcoin is not that bad. Really, it's held up quite well. But the altcoins like Ethereum is down 51% year-to-date since the beginning of the year. Right? Solana's down 26%, Doge 50%. And if we really look at how far they're off their 52-week highs, because the market began declining already in mid-December, and that's kind of when it peaked and made some 52-week highs. So if we look at how far are we from 52-week high, we can add that to this table as well, right? I mean, Ethereum's down 60%. I mean, it's mind-blowing. It's really been underperforming, really, and not even just Bitcoin, but many altcoins as well. But as you can see, a 60% decline since peak about 3-4 months ago is the norm. But at some point, right, we do see some rallies. It could be bear market rallies, and it feels like we're at the beginning of one, maybe a bear market rally or relief rally, or maybe a beginning of a bull market or a more sustainable bullish trend reversal. We wrote about this potential bullish trend reversal in a blog recently. So if you're not paying attention, check out the blogs that we have right here in the blog section. Let's see, big trend reversal coming right here. So that's a good read. But getting back to our analysis, there's, as I mentioned, some improvements that we've seen in the performance recently. We've seen some breakouts from falling wedge and channel down patterns. Now, these patterns typically occur in a downtrend, and so there are trend reversal patterns. In other words, when we see a breakout from a falling wedge or a channel down pattern, and we'll take a look at a couple, it's a trend reversal breakout. And those we've seen some success with those breakouts in the recent few days, but they are trend reversal patterns which are higher risk or lower success rate patterns and trade setups than the typical trend continuation pattern. Typically we want to trade with the trend. So if an asset is in an uptrend, we want to be buying that on the dips perhaps, but at times there are some compelling, interesting opportunities even in the bear market to actually go long and buy an asset if we see a nice breakout. So an easy way to find, first of all, we have chart patterns automatically detected in some cases. You can see that under the chart pattern section. You can filter those for maybe falling wedge or channel down. There's a bunch of these here. You know, these two patterns have emerged in the recent weeks quite a bit. So this is a falling wedge. We've got the channel down as well. As you can see, there are some breakouts as well. And we also keep track of about 50 trade setups under the technical analysis, where we have some hot trade setups marked by these flames, where we have a higher confidence level. And you know, a few that really worked well recently. Let's take a look at STX stacks, right? This one had a breakout from a falling, from a channel down pattern, as you can see here, you know, and it's, you know, it's up from, call it 55 to about 71 cents now, so a decent 25% gain. That was actually followed and confirmed. That breakout was confirmed, or you know, basically lined up with a bullish RSI divergence as well. A bullish RSI divergence is where the price makes a lower low, but here you notice that the RSI did not make a lower low. In fact, it made a higher low. Okay, but this this breakout worked really well, decent gains. I believe there's a couple others. FET, or artificial intelligence, was another one right here as well. You know, you see a breakout from a channel down, a short pullback, and then a re-break back to that resistance level of 60 cents. Another sort of nice 25% gain. What I liked about this one particularly is that you can see that as it broke out of the channel down, it pulled back, and then it took off again. So that was a confirmation of the breakout, and the buyers were in control on this one. Similar setup, or another one that worked really well was TAO. Bit sensor, let's check that out. Okay, this is a recent one. It's broken out of the channel down pattern. Also, you know, there was and above the 260, and above the resistance of $260. Okay, so it got rejected that at first, it pulled back a little bit, and now re-broke that level as well. So it broke out of the channel down pattern as well as the horizontal resistance of $260, which is a confirmation of the breakout, and should be good to revisit the $350 resistance level potentially in the next few days. So that's a solid, you know, potentially 30% or so gain as well. So that's an interesting setup here. You know, what I like about this setup as well is that this little pullback gives me a clear indication of where I should place my stop loss order. They should be right below this pullback level here. And then the last thing I'll mention about this is that the RSI is still not overbought. It's only at 61 or so, right? It's not overbought. Overbought would be if RSI reaches 70 or higher. So there's still some juice left, some momentum left. It's not overbought. As we mentioned in our trade setup here, that the stop loss, we would set it at 245, you know, and that again is basically right below this dip here, recent dip. So that's a nice trade setup. Another one that we notified our VIP members. Now, if you're not a VIP member, meaning or all of our annual and lifetime members have access to our VIP Telegram channel, where we share some of our best trading ideas, some tips. There's a lot of discussion among the members as well, where they share their own observations and tips. And so yesterday we shared a couple of trade ideas. One was the injective, which had a bullish breakout from the falling wedge pattern, and we see that has continued today. So that was also a breakout from a falling wedge pattern and simultaneously a break through the resistance of $8. It's nice when we see those two things or a couple of things line up. You know, it's basically a break through the downtrend line here that connected the highs, the swing highs. At the same time, it's a breakout through the resistance of $8, the horizontal resistance as well. So that's a nice confirmation of this breakout. It should be good for about a 25% gain to the next resistance level of $10. And also notice that the RSI is still at $55, at 55, which means that there's still it's not overbought. So there's still some momentum left in the gas tank. And lastly, I'll mention again, you have this little pullback here, this little dip below the resistance, right? The price broke above the $8 resistance, pulled back, and then rebroke again. I like to see that as well. And that gives me, again, a clear idea where to set my stop loss, right below this pullback or swing low. And I believe that is about $7.50, is where I would put my stop loss level. And then the last trade idea I'll mention, I believe was, oh yeah, as well, another one that we shared yesterday, which is Chainlink. Also had a bullish breakout from the falling wedge pattern, right? And similarly, it broke above the resistance of $12.50. It pulled back below that and then rebroke above that and out of the falling wedge pattern. Nice. So that should be good to revisit potentially the $15 resistance level, which is another 15% or so potential gain. And again, not overbought. RSI is at 54, not at 70 or higher yet. And again, this little dip and rebreak gives me a clear idea where to set the stop loss just below this dip here, which I believe in this case is around, well, let's see what it is, about $11.80. Okay, so this is all in our trade setups under the technical analysis section. It's a great way to get some trading ideas very easily and quickly. We keep a track of about 50 of their larger altcoins in this section as well, and so I would recommend that you start here if you're looking for some ideas, as well as the chart patterns, and of course the crypto screener. We have a number of preset filters as well. Now, we're still in a downtrend overall. There's some green shoots in terms of potential trend reversal, right? We're seeing some breakouts from the falling wedge and channel down pattern. We saw some bullish RSI divergences, some breaks through the resistance levels, but overall we're still in a downtrend. So let's just not get completely carried away and think that this is all going to be a beginning of another major bull run. It could. So I like to keep things balanced and certainly look for some short selling opportunities to hedge my long positions that I have, and positions that I'm bullish on, and then there's positions that I'm bearish on, just in case there's, because there's a lot of volatility recently because of the tariffs and other FET announcements and so on. So we gotta keep keep our feet on the ground.